And let's bring in ABC News contributor and host of Law and Crime Network, Brian Buckmeyer, for more on this. Brian, thanks for being here today. As we heard Alex mention, we're expecting the prosecution to call the medical examiner, Dr. Andrew Baker. He's the person who performed the county autopsy on George Floyd that created so many questions about this case. So what do you think we'll hear from him today?
We're going to hear two things from Dr. Baker. We're going to hear about the cause of death, which we know is going to be a big point of contention for both the defense and the prosecution. But I think we're also going to hear about the manner of death. Now, the prosecution brought that up in their opening statement, which was peculiar to me, was that the defense completely ignored it. So it's going to be interesting to see how Eric Nelson tackles that very heavy issue.
And can you just explain from a legal standpoint what you mean when you talk about cause of death versus manner of death?
Yeah, so cause of death is, if to give an example, if a baseball hit me in the head, you would say cause of death was baseball to the head, or a shot from a bullet, or drugs in their system. Manner of death, there's only 5 categories: homicide, accident, natural, suicide, and undetermined. Now, homicide from the medical standpoint just means death by another, and that's what the Hennepin County medical examiner put down. What Eric Nelson is going to try to do is shift that conclusion to the term accident, which is typically used for overdoses, by showing that maybe his analysis in the cause of death is a little bit more confusing than straightforward.
I'm guessing that's going to be more difficult to do given the testimony we heard yesterday. Pulmonologist Dr. Martin Tobin got on the stand and said with what he called medical certainty that Floyd died of low oxygen, and that low oxygen was caused, again, with medical certainty, by the police restraint. He said it wasn't drugs, it wasn't any underlying condition. Any healthy person would have died under those circumstances. We then also heard from several other medical experts supporting that. So what does this do for the prospect of the defense raising reasonable doubt in this area? And could that change with the medical examiner today?
It's going to be very difficult. This is a Hail Mary pass in the fourth quarter with seconds left. What the prosecution did was a really good job of building up to that crescendo, of putting on Dr. Tobin, as we talked about, Dr. Smock, a toxicologist. We'll probably also hear from a pathologist and cardiologist, all of which are going to solidify the arguments that finally get to that point of the medical examiner and just building brick by brick their case. I don't see how Eric Nelson's going to be able to pull apart any of those bricks so far, but we've got to wait and see.
Now, if they do contradict the medical examiner in a way, could Nelson point to that as, you know, he's the guy who did the test? They're trying to put all these experts out there for you, but this is the man you have to pay attention to.
Oh, that's absolutely going to be a part of his summation. He is going to say, hey, I was enamored by Dr. Tobin's Irish accent just like everyone else, and he sounded great, but the medical examiner is the person we should be listening to, and here's the reasonable doubt that you should find. He's definitely going to try to focus on that testimony and that cross.
All right, we'll be watching closely. Brian Buckmeyer, always great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And ABC News Live will have complete coverage of the Derek Chauvin trial when proceedings resume in just a short while.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.